Hey guys, welcome back. DeFi, degens, Strip, and Farm for Property. I'm your host, Strip Coach, dropping knowledge bombs on all Forex Shark related projects. And in today's video, it's not clickbait. I did indeed get canceled. Going to explain exactly canceled from what and what that means. Also going to be covering the bad PR that Drip has and what we can do to fix it. And of course, the scavenger hunt word. So let's get right into it. So this is an update to a video that I did just over a month ago, now maybe 2 months ago. This one here, first time ever in Drip. For those of you that watched that, this was my video where I got or started the process to sponsor a child from the Children's Cambodia Fund. And that child's name digitally, or at least externally, was Silkun. And I went ahead and went through the process of getting that sponsorship done and all that, and everything got approved, yada, 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 everything was gravy. Well, as of maybe a week or two ago, I actually am canceled as a sponsor, and we're gonna get into what happened and how the bad PR and things play into that, and then of course what we can do as a Drip community. And spoiler alert, gonna be basically still supporting the impoverished. That is still part of the channel's mantra. So even though I don't have the ability to sponsor directly with the Cambodian Children's Fund, I am partnering with a friend of mine that's out here that works with missionaries and goes out to the provinces and stuff, as well as going to be doing some videos where just blessing people randomly that have to work in extreme conditions on a daily basis, and hopefully bringing him along to get some actual interpretation done and not just giving random money away with no context. So we'll be going that route. And I still encourage you guys to use the giving block to donate. But let's get into what exactly happened. So I had this email before. You guys saw that in that video. If not, I can go over it again. But basically, this was welcoming me to the child sponsorship, telling me about the guidelines and the protection policy, yada, yada, yada. And I replied back. I said, thank you. I'm super excited to get to know him and do my best to provide mentorship and supportive environment to help him tap into his full potential. I'm glad Claudia mentioned my eagerness to support, and as such, I would like to know what avenues to explore to get permission to share my sponsorship on my channel. I'm not sure if Claudia mentioned this, but I created a YouTube channel where I am trying to encourage others to explore opportunities to help with charitable contributions or direct sponsorship with CCF. As such, being able to document my journey and interaction and development is a huge part in educating others to want to experience this for themselves. You mentioned that none of the information can be shared, quote, unless approved and consent got from the children and their families, unquote. I would like to explore that avenue to get permission because I know that others will be more likely to follow in my footsteps if they can see the impact it makes directly. So please let me know what needs to be done to facilitate that, as well as if I can visit the facility directly and get to know him, myself, and if photos or videos can be done. So this was after my sponsorship got approved. I was just basically trying to get the ins and outs of how the sponsorship worked. I mentioned that in the video that I'd be reaching out to him and get some feedback and see how it works and stuff like that. So they wrote back relatively quickly, said, thank you for your kind response. We really appreciate your support, CCF, and your willingness to encourage other supporters to become involved with us. However, in accordance with the child protection policy we strictly adhere to, we place strong emphasis on protecting children's privacy as a zero tolerance policy. Unfortunately, your intention of publishing your interaction with him and his information would be contrary to this. The term the quote, none of the information can be shared unless approved and consent got from the children and their families is, unquote, is CCF's internal process only. I apologize for my lack of wording. It means that when we posted any child on our website or CCF social media, we as an NGO get permission to do so from the parents. All of our supporters and donors are clearly informed on the matter of children's privacy and asked not to share information of CCF children, including their names or pictures with others or any kind of social media platforms, as they know doing so is against the policy, including any material posted on YouTube or other sites. Child sponsorship is very personalized, one-on-one communication with your sponsored child via CCF sponsor relations officer. If this is not something you would like, please let us know and we can refund your sponsorship donation. This will in no way affect or change support CCF gives to him. Sorry again for any inconvenience caused, and I hope you kindly understand. So this was their response to my inquiry and giving me some more feedback of how that works. So I followed back up kind of with an additional clarity, because up here they said they get permission from the parents so that they can post things. So I was basically asking, okay, can I get that same permission? Here we go. Thank you for your response. So you're saying that him and his family don't actually have a say in deciding whether or not they would like to have photos or information shared publicly. This is a policy of CCF that restricts regardless of the family's preference. Is that correct? So I made it short and sweet to get verification. Hello. In response to your question, no, it isn't. The CCF policy aims to protect the privacy of CCF children and their families, but it doesn't mean that we withdraw their right to engage in social media. So it says that they allow them to. They are free to share information or photos of their own with other peers. However, all of the families here came from a poor background and most of them don't own a smart device and neither have a social media accounts. Also, we have a duty of care towards CCF families who get our support and safeguard their privacy. As I mentioned in the previous email, if our sponsorship program doesn't line up with your expectations, kindly let us know and we can refund your sponsorship. So it just doesn't seem as though this is going to end well with me when I'm making this interaction. He basically just keeps pushing the refund idea. And you saw his response said to my question was no, they do not block the families or the children to have a decision if they want their story shared, which to me is extremely empowering. And obviously I would only do that with that child and their family's permission. So he clarified that. So then I responded back. This is the last one before he just stopped responding and I got an actual refund. I said, to clarify, I didn't say I wanted to exit the sponsorship program. So I'm like, hey, I still want to be a sponsor. I'm merely trying to understand the policy so I can know what is permissible and what is not. So my question is regarding getting permission from the family and from him versus a blanket veto that is not allowed. So if that can be done, I would like to explore that option. It sounded like that could be done. Not immediately, but in the future. I have a long-term mentorship and sponsorship vision in mind, and I believe that stories like his inspire others who may face similar hardships. I acknowledge that each person has the right to privacy and that the right to determine what they would like to share. So all I'm asking is that right be afforded to him and his family to determine what is best. So I will continue my sponsorship and look forward to talking to him and mentoring him in hopes that he will decide on his own what he would like to do. So again, for the foreseeable future, I will respect the privacy rules as outlined and then revisit this inquiry in a few months from now with the hopes that CCF will bring this up with his family and with him to decide on their own. So that sounded very cordial to me and, moving on the right path, but he didn't respond. I never got a message back. Just a quick message, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss another video. This helps bring brand awareness to the channel as well as all Forex Shark related projects. Thank you. And I'm gonna pause right there and give you guys the scavenger hunt word. So the scavenger hunt word for today's video is Cambodia. Why not? Cambodia is a scavenger hunt word. So that's number 2, if I'm not mistaken, in the series for October. All right, so as I said, he didn't respond, but instead I got a message from the original person that I was in contact with. She's in charge of fundraising events and stuff like that. So she basically wrote to me here. Let's start at the bottom from the first message. And she said, I hope you're doing well since we last spoke. As discussed when we met, our team has been reviewing your channel and the project to provide feedback on the use of our name and brand. We were actually under the impression that you were the owner/founder of Drip, but after looking closer at your channel, we are not sure this is the case. Can you please confirm? So I sat down with them, explained how the project works and all this stuff like that, but none of them are crypto savvy. And clearly some details got lost in the sauce. So she was requesting additional information that I'll share in my response. And then she said further, after researching further after our discussions, we sadly do not feel comfortable with some of the wider sentiment and comments surrounding the project online. Whilst we are grateful for support you are offering, this sentiment coupled with the anonymity of the project founder creates concern for us as our name and brand assets are being used alongside the project. We are not crypto experts and certainly not in a position to analyze and understand the tokenomics of the project. We are referencing only what is published and searchable online and what our supporters or potential supporters would also read should the project be promoted further with our name and brand attached. So this is where I said, does Drip have bad PR? And any of you that have been in Drip long enough definitely have seen the futters. And I don't know what she searched, but you can definitely search, quick Google search, is Drip a scam or things of that nature, and Medium posts will come up and things of that nature, YouTube videos, all that stuff. So there's definitely some negative sentiment out there. There's an entire group still in the Telegram chat that's trying to single-handedly destroy Drip. So this doesn't help the sentiment when you're trying to do good things in the world with funds that are actually meant to remove the corrupt, actual scamming nature of the fiat centralized government system and give people financial security, liberty, and freedom. But unfortunately, it's not understood. And even people still out there in the world, when you ask them what do they know about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, they immediately say, isn't that a scam or used for, illicit means or something like that. So there is a lot of things we can do as a community within Drip, but as also crypto enthusiasts, to spread the word and let people know that it's not a scam and it does actually support and do things, as you've seen in the Drip community and with the Drip Community Alliance and Little Cryptita and all sorts of stuff, that there are positive things being done with Drip. It's changed people's lives. And it's sad that it comes to this because someone who's going to research Drip, they don't know what we know, right? So they're going to go straight to Google and type in Drip Network, and let's actually see what that comes up with right now in this video. So I am, I think, I'm on, not on a VPN. So this is in Cambodia. So I'm just going to type Drip Network. Let's see. Does it give me anything else? So we have crypto price, review, and scam. So these are already automatically filtered, but let's just click news. Let's see what we get with news. See what the results actually say. Well, it'll be different now, obviously, because we had the press releases, but I can only imagine what could have been there before. Latest stories on Drip, latest story Bit Screener, Drip Network, Drip going down again, panic. So these clickbait titles may not do the best. I put a video out about that before saying that they're good, but for people externally searching, maybe it's not so good. I don't know. Is Drip Network legit? Drip price prediction, and just want to look at the video one as well. Or no, let's just go straight to review. Someone who's looking for information might type review. So we get Drip Network review. Is Drip Network a pyramid scheme? Can Drip Network last? Drip Network, the crypto scam for idiots. So yeah, clearly there is a lot of negative PR for someone doing some research. Drip Network review, legit 1% daily ROS scam. So now that you guys see what I see, and maybe you'll see something different when you're searching from a different IP address, but the point is we have a lot of negative press out there. So what we can do as a community is go to these Medium posts and, comment and get on Twitter and tweet and, share on Facebook and other social media, positive Drip videos to try to push this stuff down. If you're a blog writer, start writing your own blogs, things of that nature, especially if you are bullish and believe in Drip, because unfortunately, this is what people will see, right? And it clearly affected me, in addition to my own behavior of the questions that I asked that affected. I want to blame it all on Drip, but she put that out there and said they have concerns. And then also, here's the follow-up. She said, after careful consideration, we would therefore ask that you please remove all references to Cambodian Children's Fund, including the use of our logo and brand materials, such as images and videos. So if any of you guys have been paying attention, you'll see that I have removed the supporting the Cambodian Children's Fund from the video at the bottom here. It used to be in the bottom right. So I took that out so that that wouldn't be there anymore. No more issues with that. And I also removed it from the intro. All right. And then lastly, it says, I also understand from my colleagues in CCS sponsorship team that you recently signed up to sponsor. There are also concerns that after clarifying our child protection policy, your intention remains to seek published information. That's obviously not true. You guys saw what I wrote, but I think they already had a negative taste in their mouth from what Drip was about. So they, pushed forward with this. I don't know which came first, about his online one day, about his information online one day. After considering this further, our team has opted to terminate the sponsorship and refund your initial payment. The details of this will be sent shortly. I realize this is disappointing news, but we have a duty of care to our children who are involved in the sponsorship program. We want to ensure that our child protection policy is well understood and respected. I know that after your enthusiasm, this will be bad news. Like I said, we do appreciate the offer of support and your commitment to CCF. However, with the above in mind, we will not be continuing further. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. So I sent one message, relatively short. They did not follow up, so it is definitely dead. So I said the Drip token is, so I clarified all of her concerns or what she mentioned. The Drip token is a community-driven project, much like the way Bitcoin was created. There is no singular owner, as the contracts are immutable and publicly viewable on the blockchain. The founder of the project has created other projects and still continues to develop use cases, but the community determines the value and additional utility of the token. So that was to clarify her question is it my project or not? Many blockchain projects are created with a level of anonymity to protect the developers from unlawful sanctions or scrutiny. The most successful projects are actually those that are not governed by a public figurehead. This is the core thesis for cryptocurrency and centralized regulation. I'm sure this went straight over their head. They didn't even care. They had already made up their decision. But again, this is where we as a community have to educate people. So the power of decentralized ownership and the blockchain and things of that nature. That's kind of what I was trying to show them. And I've been rug pulled or scammed and seen tokens go to zero that had docs devs. Docs doesn't mean crap, but people have some false security in that. So you can't take that away from them. I'm not sure what information you're referring to, but I am aware that there's positive and negative information publicly available about the project. Much like any other project, service, company, or product, you will always have people who have a positive experience and those with a negative. So this was just me saying, no matter what you search for, like you can go to Amazon and you'll see negative reviews on products with 5 stars, right? It just happens. But again, they'd already made their mind up. I am saddened to hear that CCF has chosen to terminate sponsorship without actually listening to my side of the story and understanding how the project works. As we discussed, there is no part in my channel that indicates this was or is a partnership. I always inform my viewers that I was supporting CCF, which is my right and freedom to do so, with or without permission. That may have came off wrong, but it's like, yeah, I can donate money to whoever I want, but yeah, I can't do the sponsorship side because you got to be validated, kind of doxed, I guess you could say. While I can't change the sponsorship rules, I can still donate via the giving block. That's what I encourage you guys to do if you want to support Cambodian Children's Fund or Cambodia. I definitely still support them. I understand they got stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I will continue to encourage my viewers to do so. I do, however, feel it's very short-sighted for the CCF to reject my sponsorship application simply because they don't understand how the money is made. And then lastly, regarding the child protection policy, I indicate to your team that I would comply fully with the policy and even quoted a section of policy that stated, quote, none of the information can be shared unless approved in consent got from the children and their families, unquote. So they have this in a policy, but clearly they did not want to address this or, you know, entertain it, whatever you want to say. Again, be it because of the project or be it because I just, you know, pissed off the person I was emailing. I don't know, but this is in the policy. So to me, it was within my right to ask, but they didn't want to entertain that. I was merely asking your team that if in the future, him and his family decided to share his story, would that be permitted or does CCF overrule the preferences of the children and their family? Somehow this question was not welcomed regardless of the policy rules that I was quoting. Virtual regards, me. So that is it for this video. So, you know, it sucks, but as I already stated, I will still be donating via the giving block. I do believe in them, but I'm also going to be going out physically to find people like you guys have seen from other videos where I met a little girl who was selling stuff. It was, can't remember where it is. I think I already scrolled past it or something like that. But anyway, she's selling some food out at the market. Then this picture, two of the kids that were collecting recyclables. So I'm going to try to get better content for that because I think that's more empowering. That goes directly to the people that are in need. And if I can get my friend to go with me, then at least can get some conversations going to find out a little bit about their story because they'll be out publicly and we can just interact with them kind of in a live video. So that's going to be my goal going forward. And if you guys still want to be a part of that, you know, drop some comments below what you'd like to see. Fun fact, if you know Mr. Beast, he literally built his channel by initially doing some crazy stuff, but it was through philanthropy. And this guy is like the largest YouTuber. And his first video that really went viral, where it wasn't him doing ridiculous stuff like counting to 1 million or whatever it was him giving a homeless person like 10 grand. And he basically got that from a sponsorship. He asked sponsorship, reached out to him and said, we'll pay you $5,000 for a video. And he turned it down and said, no, I want 10. And that was his first deal. And they were like, are you crazy? You can't get that kind of money. And he's like, well, I want to give it away to someone. I want to give it to this homeless person that lives outside. So he turned it down. They gave him 10,000. He took all that sponsorship money and went away and gave it directly to a homeless person. And that pretty much set him on the path of trying to do extremely crazy stuff, but it's all about giving. And he's built an entire channel based on philanthropy. Every amount of money he gets, he pretty much gives away. It's crazy. But the reason I bring that up is because it has inspired others to do the same. And that's exactly what I want to do with my channel. So I want to use Drip to empower the impoverished. I don't expect to get to these levels of making crazy content, but if you guys get you know, the warm fuzzies from seeing me make donations and these videos get shared or whatever the case may be, then that encourages others to want to do the same wherever they're at. And it just can create a flywheel of gratitude and support and shit. That's what it's all about, in my personal opinion, of course. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you captured the scavenger hunt word. And as I said, we will still continue to empower the impoverished on this channel. But unfortunately, the direct sponsorship avenue has been closed. So yeah, leave me a comment below if you got questions or what you'd like to see and things of that nature, of course. And as always, lift daily and achieve your impossible. And like and subscribe. See you guys.